Hi, I'm Scott LaFall, and this is my video presentation for AI and transportation. So, I've been working on this topic question. The use of deep learning in transportation has the potential to produce extensive improvements in safety and efficiency while simultaneously reducing costs. But there are significant challenges and risks that warrant a closer examination of its implementation in the freight and personal transportation domains. My original paper will contain 5 use cases, but in this presentation, I'll only be covering 2 for representation purposes. AT, or autonomous trucking, and APV, autonomous personal vehicles, also known as self-driving cars. I don't know how many of you are aware, but we are in the midst of a truck driver shortage in the United States, which has been going on for the last decade, and it's getting worse with essentially no remediation in sight. Um, the wages of truck drivers have been falling for at least that long. Uh, the popularity of truck driving as a vocation has fallen. It has essentially been, for many, many years, the most common vocation for non college educated males in the United States. And it is just dropping, and the need is rising. Part of this is the reduction in wages, as well as the increase in oversight control. They are now moving towards biometric oversight, so they're demanding to be able to monitor truck drivers' heart rates, blood pressure, etc. So it's just intrusive. The falling wages can be partially attributed to the love Americans have developed for our free shipping now in the wake of the Amazon Prime growth. Excuse me. In talking about autonomous trucking, there are 4 phases of implementation, and the initial one is that there will be platoons of trucks rolling down the highway with a driver in each truck. However, only the driver in the lead truck will actually be driving. The other drivers will be working on paperwork or doing relaxing, maybe sleeping, whatever they need to do. But they are available to take over in the event of any difficulties. The phase 2 implementation is that there's a driver only in the lead truck of the convoy. So you might have a convoy of 10 trucks rolling down the highway. In phase 2, generally maintaining a distance of 20 meters, so about 60 feet between each truck. And there is only a driver in the lead truck. The other trucks are controlled entirely by autonomous systems. The driver in the lead truck is actually driving. Um, in phase 3, uh, there will not even be a driver in the lead truck of a platoon while they are on the highway. Rather, there will be a driver in the lead truck um, from the origin point of the convoy up till the point of entry on the highway, and once they leave the highway. So they're taking advantage. The platoon is taking advantage of the infrastructure, the uniformity of signage, and so forth, which make implementation of autonomous driving much simpler on highway systems. And the last stage or phase of autonomous trucking is full autonomous driving of all the vehicles, all the trucks in a convoy, from end to end, from point to point, pick up to drop off. The stage 2 of autonomous trucking, which is where there's a driver in the lead truck, and stage 3 involve involve transfer hubs. And you can see in this image, they're along the on ramps and off ramps of highways. And in these phases, there would be a driver in the lead truck from the point of pickup or the point of origin until the transfer hub, at which point the trailer that he or she was driving would be transferred to a driverless rig, and that rig would enter the highway when the timing was correct, in order to link up with the back of a convoy or a platoon, and then again exit the highway. It could be 100 miles later, it could be 1,000 miles later, when they approach their point of destination, and they would again go to a transfer hub, be transferred over to a human-driven rig, and taken to the delivery point. And the platoon just rolls right along. They don't even pay attention to the fact that they've lost the driver. This graphic shows some of the technology involved in the driverless platoon, with the lead vehicle, the lead truck, maintaining most of the control and the systems, and the other trucks, the subsequent trucks in the platoon, their main responsibility is to stay in a straight line with a uniform distance between them. So they get their braking information from the lead truck for the most part, when to turn, et cetera, et cetera. And in this phase, the distance between the trucks is significantly reduced down to 10 meters or about 30 feet. So they're taking advantage of increased fuel efficiency, reduced wind drag by getting right in behind the trucks in front. In addition to alleviating the driver shortage, this AI driverless trucking, automated trucking, will also potentially significantly reduce accidents from driver error. This survey table from 2015 shows that in that year and in subsequent years, the driver error was the cause of 94% of fatal accidents in the United States. So that it is expected or anticipated that that figure will be reduced by as much as 90%. This graphic shows the phases of self-driving car implementation. So these are the things that we can expect to see. We're now in phase 2 and even in phase 3, in some cases phase 4. Which is partial automation, conditional automation, which is under certain circumstances, the vehicle will take over control of the vehicle, and high automation. These are the Teslas and other vehicles where the driver can literally let go of the wheel, but is instructed to come back and be able to retain control if need be. Full automation is where they can, do other activities, read and so forth. This is a graphic that shows the current evolution of a self-driving car with the various positioning of the various sensors, and it's expected that these sensors will increase drastically over the next 5 years to 10 years. So instead of 8 sensors, we will most likely end up around 24. In the potential benefits and costs in 2020, the annual fatality number was 38,000, almost 39,000 people from motor vehicle accidents. 94% of those were due to human error. And again, it's expected that can be reduced by 90%. So it'll yield vast cost increases and, most importantly, reduction in injury and death. Other potential improvements are health, productivity, quality of life, mobility, accessibility, travel, ease of travel, speed of travel, access to travel, and reduced fuel consumption and reduced carbon emission, which are obviously important. Some of the costs of implementation can be significant. Costs of infrastructure, costs of equipment, costs of ownership, because these vehicles cost more than regular vehicles. And there are potential other hard costs. However, from my perspective, some of the greatest costs to AI in transportation revolve around liberty, autonomy, privacy. Excuse me. The rapid development of AI technology has greatly improved transportation with benefits such as reduced congestion, improved safety, increased efficiency. However, it's essential that we recognize and address the potential negative impacts that AI can have on our fundamental rights. The adoption of AI technologies in transportation and other domains can lead to a loss of personal autonomy, rationality, and freedom. AI systems are not always transparent, which can lead to concerns about accountability and the potential for bias in decision making. This can be particularly problematic in transportation, where AI systems may make decisions about our safety and well-being, our personal safety. AI in transportation can also threaten our privacy. The data captured by self-driving cars, by public transportation, and freight and logistics and smart traffic systems are subject to misuse, potentially allowing for profiling and discrimination. Transportation systems that use AI to track travel patterns could potentially reveal intimate details about our lives, such as our social, economic status, our movements, and it could even be used for nefarious purposes like blackmail or extortion, or in an extreme case, to control populations. AI in transportation can also impact our liberty. For example, AI traffic cameras can be used for surveillance purposes, infringing on our right to privacy and freedom of movement. There's a risk our decisions and our movements will be increasingly guided, monitored, or controlled by the controllers of AI algorithms rather than by our own choices and preferences. We need to assess and mitigate these risks. AI systems must be designed in ways that are transparent, accountable, and prioritize human values and agency. This requires a collaborative effort between technologists, policymakers, and society. So the benefits of AI do not come at the expense of our fundamental rights and freedoms. In conclusion, the adoption of AI in transportation has the potential to greatly benefit our society and all of our people. But it is vital to consider the potential negative impacts on our privacy, liberty, personal autonomy, and on our democratic institutions. These are my greatest concerns concerning AI implementation, and far outweigh my concerns about safety and technological concerns or costs, which I think will all be resolved. Thank you.